Hey guys, Metaloid here, bringing you another high-level Halo Wars video. This time we're playing on Repository and reversing Topher and Pursue, and I'm playing with Lucas. So on this map, I queued up a Temple second and then saw the money spawn and switched it to a Temple first, because Temple first is really good on good money spawn, which is the current spawn in which there's 5 piles of supplies on your way to the other Covet's base. There's only good money spawn for Covey. This case is actually like bad units money spawn for the UNSC, but it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, so I like seeing this money spawn, and I'll get to go my temple first and pick up like 5 piles of supplies. It's just going to be a better eco for me over anyone going temple second or anything like that. So I just picking up money on their side initially with my ghost, and was gonna walk over there and keep picking up money with my Arbiter, but his ghost came back for me, so I just raged him down. And now I'm just trying to get all the money out on their side, just so that I can have it and they can't. And so I got 1 pile with my ghost, I got another pile with my Arbiter, and then like another 1.5 with my my ghost there, and then I'm gonna get like about half of this one with my Arbiter. So their Arbiter is only picked up 1 pile of supplies total between his ghost and his Arbiter. So that basically means that I got 4 of the piles, and 4 piles of supplies. 4 times 90 is 360, which is, and the difference between us would be 270, and the difference between Temple First and Temple Second is only like 110. So I should come out ahead with that. I see that he has a turret there. I wasn't intending to build any upgraded pads or grunts, but I saw that he had the turret, and I was going to go Citadel, but I decided that I'm just going to go Fiendish instead. And he's trying to get this 5th pad up that's not protected by the turret, so I'm going to be able to take care of that. No problem. Now, because he has a turret and he didn't pick up hardly any money, I know that he doesn't have any grunts, or if he does, it's not that significant, and he doesn't have Fiendish just yet. So I'm just gonna be chilling out, denying his 5th pad, and he's trying to get another turret. So there's definitely no grunts, and there's definitely no Fiendish. So I'm just gonna help my hogs out by giving that turret a rage hit. So we have a couple hogs on offense. They don't have any gunner, and this is a really easy position for us to find ourselves in, because you always wanna go hogs, just because this happens otherwise. So we're gonna be able to deny pads coming up and turrets, and keep doing damage to their base, and they're gonna have a hard time actually doing any damage to ours, because their Arbiter doesn't have Fiendish, and their Arbiter doesn't have any grunts, and they can't get grunts through anyways because we have gunner hogs. And because we have these gunner hogs, we should be able to easily out DPS. They actually go for a Citadel to keep trying to make pads, but our hogs easily have the ability to shoot through the base, or shoot it from a distance and not even bother with that turret. I upgraded the pads on my base instead of going for like a Citadel or something, or building grunts, because I don't feel like contesting that turret. There's no need. And I upgraded the pads on my base because he can't get grunts through, so it's better to have upgraded pads as opposed to just more pads in this game. And if he were to, if I didn't have hogs, then I would probably go Citadel and just try to spam up unupgraded pads. But the upgraded pads are a bit better for your eco if you can get them safely. So the hogs are just going to be targeting down that pad nice and easily, and the turret really only protects that 1 supply pad in the corner. And I'm getting Citadel now. Their Arbiter still does not have Fiendish. They have a tank out, and I'm just going to go over and rage it down. We've done plenty of damage onto their Arbiter base, so we're in a decent position to do this. I don't have that much money because I paid for Citadel, So Lucas is going to give me a click to be able to rage it down the rest of the way, just because I didn't want to cancel Citadel. It's definitely better to not cancel Citadel. So I'm just going to go try to find this tank Rooney and chase it down. Running around the base of my Arbiter, I see that there's pad. I'm getting stuck on everything. This game is really fun. But their tank's still right there. I gotta make sure that I can get on that tank with not too big a deal, but I keep running into everything, including Lucas's hogs. But since the tank is no longer like right with us, I'm just gonna be able to help him deny this pad really fast. Gotta make sure that we don't let them get any more pads up while this is going on. And I'm just going to keep running around the base, see the tank, so now I get my chance to finally kill the tank. Alright, so the tank's taken care of now. And there's that one pad there, so I'm just going to quickly click on that to deny it. And then I have that other tank shooting me. So yeah, I think I accidentally pad glitched that for a bit, but that's not too bad because it's not denying him from building in the first place. He's building on the other side. It was just to push me off. And now I'm just going to try to go after that other tank, but it's going behind the base, and I don't think I can really get it that easily. So I decided just to kill that pad and then leave instead of taking way too much damage. It looks like the Arbiter did get fiendish, but he's like I said, I have three upgrade pads. He's on one supply pad, so I'm definitely in a really good position to deal with this. And Lucas had 3 tanks locked in his base, which he could have been using to try to push that Arbiter off much sooner, but he didn't. And now they have a grunt, so that's going to be really annoying. I was trying to see if I can like cue the turret or anything to possibly push the Arbiter off or make the grunt run around, but he definitely moved around it correctly. You don't usually want to like splash a grunt on a turret unless you think you can really save the pad. Which, in that case, if I did splash the grunt, I would definitely easily save the pad, because Lucas would have had his tanks there to push that Arbiter away. I ran into his tanks here. I was not expecting to run into their tanks on the map, but they were there. So I'm just going to be running away from them with my Arbiter, rather not die, especially at this point in the game. It's a pretty critical point. Like where I'm actually pretty far ahead of their Arbiter. I need to stay alive so that I can actually be useful. I've paid for Defiant now, and I'm just gonna go solo Arbiter because why not? Their Arbiter is way too far away from any sort of air. I could go to air, but I don't think it would be effective in time if they just solo raged. Because when they just solo rage and I'm trying to build a couple Banshees out of my single summit, maybe double summit, but on Tech 1. If we're constantly having engagements, I'm going to be forced to keep fighting with them, and it's only going to be like 3 or 4 Banshees, and those just die in like 1 rage hit to a Defiant Raged Arbiter. And even then, they don't do too much, and I would be putting myself back on tech if I did that, and giving their Arbiter a chance to really catch up. I ran to Rage in here to go get the tanks, but I ran into the Arbiter that was trailing. I didn't realize that, so I unfortunately ended up hitting rage hits on him. We have Candy now, so we're trying to take advantage of it really quickly. I didn't watch my money and I ran out of money. So I died, and that was not really good, but now they have Candy. Unfortunately for us, our little timing window's over, but on the bright side, their Arbiter is way too weak to actually chase our tanks, so I should have enough time to be able to get my Arbiter back out. Yeah, it's just annoying when you don't have quite the money to do it, but it's fine. I don't want to give Lucas any clicks. He's on a pretty solid eco with 5 upgraded pads, and that's definitely where you want to be situated in a game like this. Pursue actually deleted the turret because they needed more money. I don't think turrets are really that effective since they only cover 1 supply pad anyways. And I'm just trying to make sure with the good old Flagless Rooney that he's not going for any air of sorts. I think he had like 1 summit up, but I don't care about 1 summit. I just gotta make sure it's not double summit. And we have about 5 tanks right now. That's good. It's a good count. And then once my Arbiter comes back out, I'll be a lot more useful. And I'm just upgrading all my pads the rest of the way, because finally you gotta get the chance to do that. And once I get back out, we'll have a grand old time. They're poking into the top side to pick up some pads, but I mean they have 5 tanks on our side. Lucas has the 6th tank, and their Arbiter is still really weak. So it seems like Topher is extremely poor, because he just didn't do the greatest eco this game. I'm not entirely sure why he wouldn't give his Arbiter a heal. Maybe his Arbiter doesn't have tech. I think that's probably what it is actually, and that's partially why they can't really push in effectively. And he built a Super Sentinel, and I don't think Super Sentinels are really ever worth it because they're 250 supplies. They're either a tank or an upgraded pad, whichever way you want to look at it. But they're just terrible in my mind. They can be useful occasionally on some early game, like sort of like all-in pushes, like maybe, or even like so for like a Grenadier and Sentinels. But after that, they just slow your army down, and I don't think they're really worth it at all, especially when you're trying to like really get a max tank army, because one Super Sentinel is essentially one tank in terms of population, and 2 Super Sentinels is 2 tanks. So I'd much rather have the extra 2 tanks, or the extra 1 or 2 tanks to be able to win fights or base trades or whatever it is. Now we see that they're just kind of being annoying at that top of the map, and we're full pop and we're going power turret. So instead of wasting our time around that area, we're just going to go in this right now and push and kill their Arbiter. They're like, oh wow, we're so out of position because we didn't have any scouts or anything like that. Then now they're going to try to push in on our top side. Their Arbiter went for Tech 2, and that is a big mistake, and that is why he didn't get a heal, because he didn't have any tech on his Arbiter because he went right for Tech 2. Me, with being ahead of their Arbiter now, I'm at 1600 now, and their Arbiter already has Vicious. So now their Arbiter has Vicious. So basically, he spent all of his money just to get into the tech instead of being able to like rage anything or anything of that nature. And I just threw a shield right away. They could have denied the shield, but it's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind it when I'm able to get a shield up. Usually, if you want to split some units, but they don't really have that many units to be splitting that effectively. Because if they split a tank or so, I would just recall and rage it. But I already paid for this base. So Lucas is splitting up his tanks. Because after he denied the summit, he just split his tanks up so that he can keep some on the Covey base, keep some on the Unicy base, because Tover's trying to go for power turret. We have power turret, and now we're just going to split our tanks to deny their depots, to deny their power turret. I'm letting my Fiendish kill that Sentinel, but when I queued that shield, it moved the Sentinel. Unfortunately, I was not aware of that. I didn't think it was going to move the Sentinel. I thought I was going to be on a decent spot to just be able to keep Fiendishing it down. But now I got to make sure I sell my supply pads. It looks like Lucas is able to deny their power turret, and now I just got to finish off this Sentinel. You can rage Sentinels, but you have to be able to hit them without lunging. So you got to make sure you're like right under it, and then be able to hit it. Because for some reason Sentinels seem to count as ground units, even though they're not. In the same way that engineers can be hit with like punch raging. And I'm just going to be able to pick up the money in front of that base. I have a good bit of money. I didn't go Tech 2 intentionally just because I want to be able to buy bases and click my UNSC, and I wouldn't have time to get my Tech 2 upgrades anyways. And if I had my Tech 2 upgrades right now, I would have no money. So instead of having no money in Tech 2 upgrades, I'd much rather have my Arbiter only on Tech 1 with a lot of money to handle the space trade. I can get a Citadel, I can click my teammate as needed, and that should be good enough to be able to carry us through the space trade. Especially since we do have power turret, they didn't get power turret. Instead, they got a Banshee from that summit, and they have a Vicious Blades Arbiter, but I highly doubt that they actually have Spiteful Rage. It's possible they do, but since they didn't have, since they had a summon instead of a supply pad, they do have quite a considerable bit less resources than they had. I didn't realize I actually got the second hit on that Banshee, so I wasted a third hit on that Banshee. That's unfortunate. But their Arbiter's now walking back across the map for some reason, and I think he just must have all units with his Banshee or something, or didn't realize his Arbiter was walking there. But that's an easy free kill for us. And now we're gonna be able to get bases, and we have power turret, and they're not gonna be able to win that, so they resign. I hope you guys enjoyed this little game here, and I'm pretty sure the only moral of the story here is just that go hogs, and that sometimes when Arbiters play offense and they don't really have money to play offense, such as like a Temple First offense, a typical Temple First offense, that sometimes your best offense is a bit of defensive building sometimes with like Citadel or just unupgraded pads, but in this case I had the opportunity to get upgraded pads early, so always do when you can. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you guys next time, and stay classy, my friends.